Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and thank you for clicking on this video. Today we are going to be ranking all 68 LEGO Batman figures. Yes, all 68 Comic-Con exclusives, everything. The only figure I'm not ranking is Catman because it's unclear if he's a Batman figure or a Batman enemy, at least in my eyes. I will be judging these figures off of three things: if they look like a Batman figure, like if it's just a stupid thing, like from the LEGO Batman movie that makes no sense, it's going to tend to be lower on this list. You'll see that a lot with this list. And if it's a good representation of, like a specific design of Batman, like a movie design, if it's a good representation of that, and if it's detailed, like it has leg printing, arm printing. So without further ado, let's get into it. At number 68, we have Batman Tears of the Clown, and I just do not like this figure. It does not look like Batman to me at all, besides the cowl, which is red, by the way. It looks like, the entire torso and legs have been taken straight from a clown figure. There's a green cape for no apparent reason, and it's not it. At number 67, we have Reggae Man Batman, and this is this low because it's a Robin suit, basically. There's basically nothing about it that is Batman, except for, the little bit of cowl that is hiding under the hat and hair, or whatever it is. I think it's a fun design. It's a good figure. It's just not a good Batman figure. And at number 66, we have Roller Disco Batman. I am just not a big fan of this figure. I think there is a better Disco Batman later up on this list, and Disco Batman is just, it's obscure, something that you never see actual Batman be wearing. I mean, it is a decent figure. I do like the torso. I do like how there is a little bit of hair on the chest. That is nice. And there is the bat logo in the shape of the necklace. I don't think the purple is a good choice for the coloring. I do like the gold cowl though. Next up we have Zebra Batman, and I'm kind of mixed on this figure. I think it is a terrible choice for Batman to be wearing, but again, this was based off the Lego Batman movie, so it does kind of fit that movie and the tone, but Batman would not be wearing this. I mean, it is a neat idea for any other figure. And like, Batman's the least person you'd expect to wear this. But talking about the figure itself, I don't think the black and the white blends together all that well, and it just makes it look wacky and obscure. Next up, we have all three Mighty Micros Batman. I grouped these together because they're basically the same thing. If I had to rank them, I'd put the Mighty Micro Batman that has the black legs and dark gray torso because, the colors just don't match. I get that they're trying to make it represent the trunks, but it just does not work. And then I'd put the blue and gray Batman Mighty Micros, and then I'd put the black suit because it's just, classic go-to for Lego Batman. In number 61, I have Beware the Batman, and, this is based off the weird 3D animated show, and this is just a terrible design. Like, you can't have a Batman that has all gray arms. Just does not make sense, and does not have black gloves. The belt is just way too big, and it just does not lend itself well to a Lego figure. Next up, we have Easter Bunny Batman. The reason it is this low is because, it's an obscure idea, something that shouldn't be a thing, but it is thanks to the Lego Batman movie. Hey, I'm not complaining. More Batman is more Batman. But you look at this and you see an Easter Bunny, not Batman. Next up, we have Tiger Tuxedo Batman, and with this figure, it's just Batman wearing a tiger tuxedo. There's no interesting idea about it besides a tiger tuxedo. Like, what's the point of him wearing a tiger tuxedo? And then in 58, I also have Dollar Bill Tuxedo Batman, kind of the same thing. But I do think that this one is better because it is more detailed, and it's Bruce Wayne. He's rich. Next up, we have Zur and Batman. This was a Comic-Con exclusive. Now, the thing with this is, it's not supposed to be exactly Batman. It's supposed to be, a crazy variant from a different, world, I believe. And that's why it's this low. It's wacky, it's colorful, and it's not Batman. Next up, we have Mermaid Batman, and I'm kind of mixed on this figure. Someday I'll look at it, and I think it's a good figure. And other days I look at it and think it is not good at all. So we do have the mermaid legs, which I do like on this, but the torso, it's just weird. I don't like how Batman is wearing, the clamshells. Kind of weird to see Batman wearing those. Number 55, we have Tartan Batman. Now, when I look at this, I don't see Batman again. I see, a Gladiator, anything else but Batman. I know you do have the chest, you do have the bat symbol there, but it's not in the center and it's not what's catching your eye. What's catching your eye is, the entire torso. That doesn't look like a Batman figure. Everything else about this figure I do like. At number 54, we have Yellow Lantern Batman. Now, with this figure, they basically took the Sinestro body and you just put Batman's head on it and gave him some yellow eyes. And I don't think that this is a good design. I mean, it just doesn't lend well to a Batman figure. You look at this, I think Sinestro with a Batman. I don't think a bat suit. It's not a bat suit, it's a Sinestro corpse suit. And that's what this figure does not do well, creating, a Batman. At number 53, we have Vacation Batman. Now, I do like this figure, but again, it doesn't really represent Batman all that well, Like a Batman movie represents that fine because it's wacky, it's fun, but Batman as a character, not so much. I do like the goggles that Batman is wearing here, and I do like the sort of Hawaiian shirt style shirt Batman has. I do like the dual motion arms and the swim trunks. Very nice. All the way up to number 52, we have Bachelor Batman, and I'm a little bit salty with this figure for a few reasons. Now, first of all, I think the design is kind of flat. You don't see Batman when you look at this. And also, just bias based off the movie. I think you have a great story of Barbara and Batman and their relationship in the Lego Batman movie, and it just ruins it with the Lego movie, too. Because obviously, Batman is marrying Queen whenever you want to be. And that just, it ruins the story, it retcons it, it cancels any sequels they had planned, and it's stupid. Next up, we have Space Suit Batman. A good figure overall, but not a good Batman figure. You don't really see Batman when you look at this. At number 50, we have Swimsuit Batman. Now, I do like this figure, but it's not because it's a Batman figure. I like it for the amazing torso and abs, at chest and abs piece you are getting here. Great for customs. I also do like the goggles on this figure, but I don't like this figure because it's a Batman figure. In fact, it's a pretty bad Batman figure. It doesn't represent Batman all that well. Next up, we have Raging Batman. Now, I do like this figure. I do own this figure. I do like the dark blue in this figure, but it just doesn't make sense to have him with punching gloves. It's definitely not worth its own figure. At number 48, we have the classic dark blue and gray suit from the classic wave of Lego Batman, and this was also always my least favorite Batman figure from that wave or that era of Lego Batman. And it's just not a great design in my opinion. It's the Justice League design, like the Justice League Unlimited design, the animated series Justice League. I just don't think it makes sense to have a black bat logo and dark blue, cape and cowl. Next up at 47, we have Caveman Batman, and I do like this figure, but it's not a great Batman figure again. What's the point of having a Caveman Batman? It's not practical for, actual Batman to be wearing, but it is, you do have some nice printing, and you do see the Bat logo there, even though, it's kind of scribbled and it's not very good. Next up, we have the Bat Pack Batsuit. I don't know why it's called that, but that's what it's listed as on Bricklink. Now, I do own this figure. I do like the gold shine of it. I do like the bat logo that's in the shape of a bow tie. I do like the dual-sided cape, and I do like, the gold cowl that we've seen before. But this is just, again, not a practical bat suit for Batman to be wearing. Like, Batman doesn't go to parties, Bruce Wayne goes to parties. For the Lego Batman movie, this is a good figure. But, Batman generalized, not a great figure. I mean, a good figure, but not a great Batman. Next up, we have Fairy Batman at number 45, and I just love this figure for how dumb it is. It's a great figure design, dual-molded legs, arms. You have a pink cowl and wings. Fairy Batman. It's the last thing you expect Batman to be wearing, and that's why I kind of dig it. I kind of like it. I like the design. Next up, we have Batman, Scuba Batman. And, this is a little bit more practical for Batman to be actually wearing, but I do think that there is better Scuba Batmans later on this list, which you'll see later. Next up, we have Lobster Loving Batman. Now, I love this figure, don't get me wrong. But if we're gonna rank it like all the other ones, it has to be this low on the list because it doesn't represent Batman as much as it represents Bruce Wayne. Now, this is probably one of my favorite figures on this list, but it is not a good Batman figure. So that's why it's this low. Don't get mad at me. Next up at number 42, we have Pirate Batman, and I do like this figure. It's just not a great Batman figure. Again, I do like how the dark blue and dark gray look together. I do like, the design of this, but why would Batman be wearing a pirate bat suit? Just doesn't make much sense again, but it is a pretty good figure. Next up at number 41, we have the Batman Returns with rubber cape. Now, the only thing that's why it's this high on this list is the rubber cape. I mean, the torso is just kind of a joke with how it looks. It's just completely metal look design. It looks like he's a robot. It's just not a good design. Not a great adaptation of Michael Keaton's Batman. Next up, we have the Batman Rebirth design, and this is kind of the first comic book Batman we've gotten on this list. The reason it's this low is because of those two lines that are just protruding from the line going down. I just think there's too much lines on this, and it just completely over designed, and it doesn't need to be. It could have been a much better figure with just the new 52 design without all these lines in lighter gray, but it just had to do this, which I don't know why. Next up at number 39, we have the Batman Heavy Armor, and I do like this figure, but I just think it doesn't look like a Batman figure. It looks like an evil Batman robot. I do think that the Heavy Armor Batman is used much, 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 much better in a different figure, which you'll see way higher up on this list. Just wait for that because it does way better with the armored Batman. And at number 38 is Disco Batman, the white, expensive one from the Wayne Manor set. And this is just, an iconic figure, with especially with the price. I mean, Tuxedo Batman, it's just iconic. I don't even think that's that great of a figure, though. I mean, it's just classic, even though it didn't come out that long ago. You look at this and you know instantly what it is. It's Tuxedo Batman from the Lego Batman movie. This figure represents the Lego Batman movie as a whole. It's just fun, wacky Batman, and it does great with that. And it doesn't shy away from looking like an actual bat suit. Party Batman, that's what this is. Next up, we have the Junior's blue and gray bat suit. Now, I do like this figure. I have a few of them, and I don't think it's the best bat figure ever. I do think that the blue and the gray, especially on this figure, does not match well. It looks good. I do like the torso and how that's designed. I think it would have been better if it was, just black and gray instead of the bright blue and gray. I think this would have been better if it was dark blue, but I do like this figure. And at number 36, we have Firestar Batman, and this is, kind of one of the last crazier bat suits, and I think this is one of the better ones, This actually looks like a Batman suit. Like, it just has a weird way of looking like something Batman would actually wear. With the crazy fire logo. I like it for that. And, I like the colors on the suit minus the cape. I think they could have chose a better color than the, yellow cape. But I do like this figure. Next up, we have Metal Batman. And oh my gosh, this is just a great Lego Batman movie figure. Even though it doesn't look that much like a bat suit, I mean, it's just such a great figure that I can't put it any lower than this. Obviously, we have the great white logo on the mask that, is kind of shaping the mask a little bit. And you have the eyes in there. It's just a great cowl design, great torso, great arms, great legs. It's basically just Kiss Batman, and it's great. Next up, we have the Dark Knight Batman that has the black trunks and is in dark gray. I do think that this is, a good design for Batman, but it's not accurate. It should be black, all black, and, it just, the colors really ruin it for me. Similarly, at number 33, we have the Dark Knight. That is light gray. I do think that this looks better to the eye without those black trunks, but again, the colors really throw you off with this. And it is part of the classic wave, so I do have all the sets and a soft spot even in my heart because of how good they are and iconic they are. And at number 32, we have Excalibur Batman, and this isn't even a Lego Batman movie set, surprisingly. It is a Lego Dimensions pack, and it's a great figure. I mean, you can clearly see that it is Batman, and this is like a throwback to, medieval Batman. Sort of like how Marvel does with What If, the medieval Avengers. This is something that is good if you want to have a medieval Justice League or whatever. I think it's a good figure, and I do have this one, actually. Next up at number 31, we have Space Batman, and this is just on that line of something that's too obscure and not obscure for Batman. Obviously, I like this figure if it is this high on the list. I do own this figure, and I am a fan of that torso. I don't like, the light gray underpants that it has going for it. I think it would have been better all white. Actually, I think the entire thing would have been better in the metallic dark or the metallic gray that the wings and helmet are in. But it is a shame. But I do like that design for the torso. You have great wing design. In a number 30, we have the new Junior's black suit, and I'm just not a fan of the lines on this one. This is a new figure from 2025, and I like the utility belt, but it's just those lines that really throw it off. I am a fan of the new cowl, however, unlike a lot of people, I just don't think it works for certain figures. Next up, we have the Wetsuit Batman at 29, and just like the Space Batman, it is just crossing that line of obscure Batman and something that Batman would actually wear. Obviously, if Batman ever wanted the water, he'd wear something like this, maybe just a scuba mask or whatever. But it is a cool figure nonetheless. You do have some great color choices with the dark blue. I just love how that matches the ocean. Obviously, you have a great face print and some flippers. Next up, we have the Batman from the Batman 2022. And everything from the legs and the torso is just great. But then we get to the head, and I think that's where they missed the ball. It looks nothing like it does in the movie. He has sort of like the half cowl, and the cape should have been, flat because that's how it is in the movie. And there should have been, they have a good piece for the arms that they could have used without making a new one. That would have looked better than, just the regular gray arms. But I do think that from a design standpoint, I love the arms and torso. And at number 27, we have the main black Batman that has been around since 2012. It's just, iconic at this point. It's been used in over so many sets, and it's just, a good figure. But it is pretty low on the list because, it is generic. It is plain. But it does represent Batman quite well. And at number 26, we have the classic TV series Batman. I do like this figure, but I hate the design of the actual costume that's in the classic TV series. It's not a good Batsuit, and that's not the figure's fault. They're obviously trying to represent that good enough, and they do a perfect job with that. It would have been a lot higher if the Batsuit was actually good, but it is iconic, and I'll give it that. And at number 25, we have the Comic-Con exclusive Dark Knight figure. Now, this is much better than the other Dark Knight figures before on this list. It is black instead of, the other colors, but it is still kind of inaccurate because of, the way the printing is. It's still gray for the armor, it's still supposed to be black, but it is on a black body. Printing's still the same, it's just the difference in color, but I do think it's a lot better than the other ones, which you can see here. Next up at number 23, we have the Desert Batman, and I do like this figure. I mean, it's just a great torso design. I just, don't like the color that suit is that much. I mean, it looks like a desert suit, don't get me wrong, but it's just an ugly color. It's not very appealing to the eyes, but it definitely is a Desert Batman. And it accomplishes what it's trying to do, so I will give it that, and that is why it's this high on the list. Next up at number 22, this might be a bit of a controversial pick, and that is the Electro Batman suit. I kind of just love this figure. I mean, I love the way that the blues look on this figure. I kind of don't like the blue on the helmet or the cowl, but that's my only gripe with this. This figure has toes for some reason, which I kind of dig. But I just love the way the blue looks on this figure. You do have arm printing, and it's just a great figure in my opinion. Next up, we have Tactical Suit Batman from the Justice League sets, and I think this is an accurate figure. I just don't love this design that much. I mean, it's just completely over designed in my opinion. Just too much straps, stuff that doesn't really make sense. You should have go back to the armored Batman from Batman vs Superman. That would be a lot better than whatever this is. I mean, it's basically still the same Batman suit. It's just like upgraded, sort of like how that Batmobile was dogged on in this set. And at number 20, we have what I believe is the new 52 Batman, and I like this figure. I think it is a great adaptation of Batman. I love the gold around the symbol, and the symbol is great. Again, I love the way the belt looks, and I think that the lines on this figure do look great. Muscle printing looks great. This is how you should be doing lines, not like how the other figure looks with the outline in gold. And at number 19, we have the Batman Begins figure from the mini figure scale tumbler, and this is just a great figure for a great set. It represents what it's supposed to represent very well, and you're just getting a great figure with some great printing. But a little bit better than this figure is the Batman Begins UCS figure. Now, this is based off the same figure, but it is UCS, and it's just a little bit more detailed. You are getting a different face print to represent the Christian Bale, and it is just a good figure all around. I love this design for the Batman, and I love this figure naturally, so it is a great figure. And at number 17, we have the newer era of Batman that is wearing the dark gray outfit, and I do really like this figure. I mean, it's just Batman. You can automatically tell this is Batman. It's a great bat suit for Batman. I just love the way this looks. The detailing on this is great. You have obviously some shining, which looks great. I think there is a little bit too much muscle on this figure, but that's okay. You're also getting a pretty great utility belt. And at number 16, we have the Arctic Batman. And this is just as simple as it gets. You take the classic Batman, you just color swap those outfits, and you get a pretty great figure for an Arctic Batman. I love the way this looks and how the colors blend together. I love the utility belt that they have going on here. It looks pretty cool. I love the way that these colors blend together so much. Obviously, this is sort of like the classic Batman with white cowl, white cape, white underpants. And, it's just an outstanding figure, and I'll give it that. It's a great Arctic Batman. Next up, at number 15, we have the Batman from the minifigure accessory kit, and this is a classic Batman figure. I think it looks pretty great. I mean, I don't really have any problems with this figure, other than, there are better figures on this list. Now at number 12, we have the Batman vs. Superman Batman. Now, this might not have been the best movie, but it is sure as heck a great figure. I mean, you can't look at that torso printing and say this isn't a good figure. Just, the way that they have the logo and the texture of this bat suit, it's just pretty remarkable. And similarly to that, in number 11, we have the Justice League 2017 Batman, and this is just improved upon with some leg printing, again with that same texture that they have with the torso. Great figure. Both these are just amazing figures. And at number 10, we have the Detective Comics Batman from the CMF. And this is just an iconic batsuit, the first batsuit ever, and Lego does a great recreating this. I mean, it's just as basic what it gets, the flappy ears on the cowl, the purple gloves. It's just pretty remarkable seeing this figure. And at number 9, we have the Batman movie, Batman. Now, the reason that this is this high is because it's such a large part of my childhood. I just love this movie, love this figure. I have so many of them. And I love that utility belt piece so much. I'm surprised they don't use it for any other Batman since the Lego Batman movie. But yeah, this is just a great figure, remarkable movie. And at number 8, we have the original black suit from the classic era of Batman. And another great figure. This pretty much invented the way that Lego Batman would be looking. For 2012, to now with the black suit, and it's just iconic at this point. Great figure, great first figure. It's just such a great figure with so many great sets, and it's pretty remarkable. And next up at number 7, we have the UCS Dark Knight figure. Now, the only problem I have with this figure is it is a bit over-designed, but I kind of love that. I love how over-designed this figure is. And, the Batsuit from, the Christopher Nolan movies is over-designed. Even if how much I love that Batsuit, it is kind of crazy looking. And I do kind of love this suit for that. Or this figure. Next up at number 6, even more iconic than the black classic Batsuit, is the classic gray and black Lego Batsuit. I mean, this is just a great figure. Obviously, it is the same figure that is the main figure from the 2006 Batman video game. I mean, this is just remarkable for, Lego in 2006, how they were able to create this well-looking of a figure. And honestly, look at this, it's Batman right off the gate. And I just love it for that. Reaching our top 5, we have the Batman 89 figure, and I love that the rubber piece they created for this figure is just a great figure for that piece. And, the muscle padding that is on the suit is pretty great in this figure. The only thing that I don't like is, the eyes are kind of discolored. I don't know why. But they don't really look like they're white. I don't have the actual figure, so I don't know how that looks in real life, but I love this figure. And at number 4, we have the Nightmare Batman suit. I kind of just love this design of Batman. I don't know why. It is kind of stupid that he's wearing a trench coat in the desert. But this figure just looks incredible. I don't know what it is, but when I look at this figure, I instantly want it. It's probably that amazing printing they have. The dual molded legs, not dual molded anything else. But, just the printing is incredible. And it is very accurate to what it is supposed to represent, except for the guns. He does pull out some guns in that scene. And in third place is one of the newest interpretations of Batman, and that is the Batman the Animated Series Lego figure. And I have this figure, and I just love it so much. Honestly, the Batman the Animated Series show is super, super iconic, and I love that show. And I love this figure. This just does a great job representing that that character from the Batman the Animated Series. And in second place is the Armored Batman from Batman vs. Superman, and I just love this figure. Under that amazing piece for the chest, you will find an even better printed torso that is, not even from the movie. But, I mean, it's great. Obviously, I love this metal gun gray for the entire Batsuit. And it's just pretty incredible. Obviously, you are getting a gray cape, which looks pretty good on this figure. I just love the detail on this figure. And even though it might not be the best movie, it is a pretty amazing figure. And this might be a controversial pick, but in first place, I have to put the Arkham Knight Batman from the remote control Batmobile. And this figure is just detailed to the max. Of course, it is very accurate to the Arkham Knight game. And I love the Batman Arkham games so, so much. They're my favorite games. I play them all the time, replay them all the time. And to have a figure that is based off of Arkham Knight, it's just pretty great. And to have a pretty good figure like this, it's just amazing. And if you have made it this far in the video, I would love it if you could subscribe. Obviously, you do enjoy my content if you made it this far in the video. And go check out some other content if you do so, please. Alright, everyone, that's going to do it for my ranking of every single Lego Batman figure. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if this video reaches 15 likes, I will do the same thing for another character, maybe Joker, maybe Spider-Man, maybe Iron Man. Who knows? You have to see. Just get that like button to 15. Alright, everyone, so looking back at this video, I do realize that I have missed a few. I did film these, but the audio just got cut off. So here they are right here. We have Gas Mask Batman, which I think is a good figure. Then we also have Apocalypse Brick Batman, which is, you know, a great figure. Dual molded arms, dual molded legs, just amazing. And then Batman 89 from the Batmobile. I don't think the helmet works, but I really do like the torso. I think it would have been better with a rubber cape.
Thanks for watching.
But it wouldn't have fit the Batmobile, so sorry for that inconvenience, everyone, and thanks for sticking to the end.